Sometimes in our lives, we feel so stuck and we can't get out of either depression or some feelings of inadequacy, like feeling like you're not good enough or can't feel good anymore like you used to when you were a kid, or maybe you've manifested stuff and you want to feel like that again. And the feeling is natural. The feeling comes within, and sometimes we're like, where is that feeling? I miss that feeling again. Like, I miss having that kind of feeling. I miss that fluttering in your stomach, your heart flutters, or your blood streams just go like, whoo, and like it makes you breathe deeply. And I've been feeling that way lately because I remember to utilize this one tool. It is called EFT tapping. And I want to get into it, but before that, make sure to subscribe to this channel or this podcast if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast. I am on YouTube also. I will link it in my description down below, and it's just fun to grow together as a woman, as a child of God, and to utilize all the tools that His kids made and how it helped me, so hopefully it can help you, which it is proven that EFT tapping or emotional freedom technique helps a lot of people that had trauma and all of that research, which I am going to search right now. Yeah, so let's get into the episode.
The flame is flaming hot. I stopped people blazing. Now started making music and started to.
Hi all, welcome back to All In Manifestation Podcast. I'm Olin Quinn, your host, and I am starting a series. It is called Rewire Your Mind, Transform Your Life, a 6-month journey with Christ and the power of your mind or consciousness. It is a 23 weeks more of a 6-month journey to rewire your subconscious mind so then you can be the best version of yourself with Christ and neuroplasticity, which has been my dedication from like my adult life and since my teen life also with manifestation. And what really brought me into this topics or teachings or speaking about it even, it is because like I want to really help people with a bunch of information that is out there, but obviously every teacher has different ways of teaching. Every people that preaches has different ways and vibrations of the way that they speak it towards like people that they attract and people that feel connected to them in some level, in so many level maybe. And I'm here to make a room for other people that will connect the way that I teach things. And I feel like it's fascinating for me to teach both Christianity in the way that like build your identity through Christ and become the best version of yourself through Christ's eyes, through the Lord's eyes, and through what God has given us, which is our brain, and we have to use it as our capacity because we have free will. Like, I've been reading and seeing this on TikTok too. It's like, why does God allow bad things happen to us, right? Well, we have, number one, free will that God could never stop, but God always help you if you need something, you need to get out of a situation or whatever. But like, we all have free will, and God can't speak like that because you're just the image of God, right? And you can't really let him like take control of every single thing, like your hand movement. Like, you're not a puppet, you're his child. Like, imagine if you have a kid. It's like basically when you're a baby, like you can, like hold their hands, be like, oh, grab this little toy, yay. But like when they grow, they have their own life and they have their own choice. And what God is doing is he's just being a father. Like, I'll still be here. I am still your father. Like, when you realize that you're doing something wrong, come back to me. I will guide you. So with that, also like, okay, having a relationship with a father, but at the same time making the right decision of our own free will in our lives, because living in 25 years in this earth and moving how many ever miles away from my birth country, from where I grew up in my hometown, to the Americas, it's like Ooh, it literally gives me a lot of perspective and growth and experience and everything. And I want people to utilize them both, right? The relationship with the Father and the relationship between you and yourself, and how you can absolutely use your brain that God has given you to the maximum capacity. Oh my gosh, that was like a big intro, and I did not expect that. But I just want you to know, when you're stuck, it does feel like you're stuck, but you're not stuck. You were triggered, and when you're triggered, you didn't realize that you suffered through that trigger for so long. It becomes embodied, like it's in the body now. And then the thing is, like, when you don't shake it off, like until you regulate the trigger, you'll keep repeating the same pattern, the same cycle with different people, with different jobs, with different housing, with different emotional outcome. So let's get into today's episode, shall we? What is EFT? EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, which I have found since I was 23, so like 2 years ago, which like really helps me a lot. Oh, there's so much stories, but let me get into it later. It is created and popularized in 1950s by Gary Craig. But modern teachers like Brad Yates, my idol, like he commented on one of my Instagram posts. I think it was I was doing the red copper moment, I think, or I was singing on stage. I don't know. Look at my Instagram. Here's my Instagram at It's Olin Quinn. Check it out. Link is my bio too. Follow me and DM me there if you have any questions. I'm there for you. So Brad Yates has made it super practical and accessible. I literally love him so much. I listen to him like every day since like 2 years, so I felt like he's really close to me. And I do have a code for Brad Yates. Here we go. Hey, quick question. Have you ever felt like no matter how much you script, visualize, or affirm, your manifestation will still be just out of reach? Like deep down, you know you're meant for more freedom, more abundance, and more ease into your life, but something invisible keeps blocking it? You're not alone. I always felt that way, and so many of us feel this way. And it's not just because we're doing something wrong, it's because we've got emotional blocks and limiting beliefs stuck in our energy. And you know that I've talked about this all the time in every episode of All In Manifestation podcast. That is exactly why I want to share something powerful with you. A course called Unleash the Manifestor Within and Design a Life You Love. It is by one of the world's leading experts in EFT tapping, with decades of experience and millions of followers on YouTube. You know, I love Brad Yates, and how many times I actually talk about him? Yes. Brad is an internationally recognized for his work in emotional freedom technique, that is EFT, and he has helped countless people release inner resistance, reduce stress, and align with their true desires. And I am one of them. In this course, he teaches you how to use EFT tapping, a simple yet powerful technique where you gently tap on a specific energy point on your face and torso while speaking calming, affirming phrases. It's like emotional acupuncture, but without needles at all. It helps to clear the fear, doubt, and old patterns from your energy so you can finally feel safe and empowered to manifest what you truly want. I use this every time, whether if it's at work, stressing me out, honestly, and wherever it's like in the weekend, I think about the weekday, and it's just like work and money and everything that we do has blocks. So by tapping into the meridian point of our faces and our torso, it truly helps to release all those baggages, to just give it up, because you don't need it anymore. Why would you need it if it makes you suffer? So if you're ready to stop forcing and start flowing, this is your sign. Check out the link in my show notes. And yes, it's an affiliate link because I genuinely believe in the transformation that this can offer. And remember, you're not broken, you're just blocked. And with that, we can absolutely clear. Now, back to the episode. yeah, so that's a cute little thing that I just like promoted, but you don't have to. Just letting you know that he's like the best ever, and all of my coaches definitely go to him whenever they needed like healing. But he also have free stuff on YouTube too. So you do whatever you wanna do. He has free stuff and paid stuff, but like he never overcharges, and he's always so genuine, and he helped me so much throughout my blockages in my brain. EFT combines ancient Chinese meridian theory, which is like energy pathways, cognitive reframing, nervous system regulation, and somatic tapping. So like it's like acupuncture, but with your fingers instead of like the needles. You know, like it's acupressure. You know, when you're like going to like acupuncture and like put needles in certain points, like obviously they know what, but this is you doing it to yourself. Why does tapping works? Here's what it actually do, or like what's happening when you're tapping, right? So when you tap on specific meridian points while focusing on the beliefs or fear or the blockages or like self-doubt, all that yucky gunky stuff that you want to get rid of, you send calming signals to the amygdala, okay? Cortisol levels can decrease, so then you don't feel stress anymore. A study shows how measurable drops of cortisol levels when someone before doing ETF in one session and then after. And I'm a testimony. Sometimes I get so stressed out and then I just open EFT tapping from Brad Yates on YouTube. I think it's the Serenity Now. It's right here, and I'll put it link on my description too for my podcast and YouTube. But I would just like go into it really, really stressed out. I don't know why I was stressing out, but I just know that I'm doing everything so fast and like my breathing is, you know what I mean? And I needed to like calm down. That's when I did it. And then like, not even before it ended, like 40 seconds towards the end, I was just like, calm down and just so relaxed and thinking like, what was I like stressing about? That was just so dumb of me. I'm gonna take a walk now. La 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 la. So yeah. And then the nervous system shift from fight or flight to safety instead of continuing that loop and training your nervous system that fight or flight state in your body is normal when it's not. And you don't want that. And then you'll create your reality through chaos instead of serenity. Are you being sold to this now? Like, are you listening to what I'm saying right now? It's so easy. It's such a girl boss move to be like, hold on, I'm feeling stressed out. Let me go outside, or like, let me go to my room, or let me go to my car, and let me do tapping real quick. And by the way, I think this was like 3 years ago, this video of me on Instagram of me like hitting my chest in my car. The context was like, you have a 9-to-5 job and you have 10 minutes to regulate your nervous system after your boss screaming at you or something like that. Obviously, I'm gonna put it here if you're watching on YouTube, just like the screenshot of it. I don't want to like scream in your face right now as you're listening to this podcast, but it's so funny. It got like, I think 9.1 million views on Instagram and like 7 million on TikTok, and it's just so funny of how people are just so intrigued the way that what I was doing. But screaming and hitting my chest and whatever it is, it like heals part of me, and some people would see the difference. They would be like, oh my gosh, I can literally see the relief after you sighed. And I'm like, thanks for not bullying me. But like, it's so funny. It's not bullying. Some people are just like, you know, like that is like the Wolf of Wall Street going, ah. And then someone thought that it was like the Madison Beer song that goes, ah. Like, it's just such a funny thing. But it does help. It does help. So when the brain feels safe, it updates the belief, right? So you're not arguing with your trauma. You're not like, right, well, this is what happened to me. But instead, you're like taking a pause, look back at it, and you're like, let's figure where all of this is coming from. Let's stop ourselves. And by the way, acknowledging that you're in fight or flight mode, you are not your highest version of self right now, is you doing the 90% of the job. And the 10% is you doing EFT tapping or some other energy relief. activation. You can pray, obviously, but you don't want it to stay in your body. You can dance it out, which is always my move. I love dancing, and it helps me so much. Like, my mom doesn't even understand why I dance so much. She's like, you sing so much, which I didn't know that it absolutely activates your vagus nervous system or something like that. Vagus, whatever. Singing actually lowers down your stress level. And then dancing, when the trauma is in the body and you just shake it off, if you realize that like bears or wolves kill something, a deer or whatever, it's very traumatic, right? I mean, they don't really have that much of a brain capacity of intelligence of how much we have. But look at, nature never lies. Look at them after they kill their prey. They would shake their body. They would shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. And that's like a nature's way to shake off all the trauma from your body, because, well, I mean, that's supposed to happen. But it's just so helpful in how amazing God made every single creature. It's like, well, you just killed, so then you'll survive. But let's shake it off. Shake it off, shake it off. But yeah, that's what happens. So whenever trauma happens to you, it's going to be stored in the body. Whatever outlet that you're going to shake it off with, shake it off. It's in the body. So move your body, do EFT tapping, which I like because sometimes it's more like something traumatic happened to me like 10 years ago. Like, I didn't know it, and it's showing up, and now I'm starting to realize, why do I attract so many mean women in my life, or so many men that aren't appreciating of me, or friends that are just here for the good time, never the bad times or whatnot. Let's fix that through EFT tapping. I want to introduce you to Be Magnetic, TBM. It's a pathway membership which will help you to identify your blocks, find your authentic self, and start manifesting the life you've always dreamed of. They have unlimited classes. They have workshops, monthly manifestation classes. They have challenges throughout the seasons. They have community group, which filled with amazing women over there, which I adore, and so much more. My favorite thing about them is they're backed up by neuroscience, psychology, epigenetics, and energetics. And that is why I actually suggest you to do your inner work with To Be Magnetic. To Be Magnetic will help you as so much as they helped me with my limiting beliefs, find my authentic self, and create 4 of the authentic pillars that you prioritize and what you're setting yourself into, especially coming to this new life that you started. TBM has helped me with my unhealthy dynamics, people-pleasing, codependency, when I struggled to set my boundaries, my resentment, jealousy, and negative thoughts pattern, and absolutely helped me to get out of my unfulfilling career and unhealthy relationships. So if you want to join this journey with me to completely transform your life, you can get 15% off discount on payment plans. They have pay in 12 months or pay in full just by using code OLIN. All in. I just want you guys to know that I am generating an income from this just for 15% commission. It's not that much. It will not increase your payment. It will actually decrease your payment. Honestly, I feel like Lacey's doing this because she is super generous to want to let people know that this work works. It changed my life. I owe my life to this work, and I have made so many accountability buddies that helped me in my journey along the way, and I'm super excited for you to get on with this journey with TBM yourself. Happy manifesting, and let's get back to the episode. Okay, next. We just kind of touched in on this just a second because I got carried away, but the body as the subconscious mind. So most limiting beliefs aren't logical. Okay, so when you were a kid, you made up stories of how mom and dad hates me, doesn't want to play with me, I'm not worthy of their attention, because they're always busy, always working, and never with me, and I'm always with grandma, or I'm always with my babysitter, and yada yada yada, right? But now that you're an adult, you think man, why do I hold so much grudge over my mom and my dad for working? Turns out they're providing for me, so then I won't have to live the way they lived. I don't know. generational trauma. But like at the same time, I wish that like whatever is happening to our family, like as long as they like spend more time with me instead of like abandoning me and work all the time, or like be with their friends instead of like staying home and like being there with me. It's never enough. It's literally never enough. I just want you to know God's love is always enough. Turn yourself to him, and like literally he would give all the love to you that no one in this world would give. And it's just what my realization lately. But your beliefs aren't logical. It's always going to be so made up in your childish brain when you were a kid. It like cultivates from like being that childish belief to like rationalize it as older and be like, oh yeah, of course my partner doesn't have time for me because we're buying a house and he needs to like work harder and all that stuff, which is respectable, but it can trigger you in some way that would backfire on your relationship with your partner because of the things that you didn't regulate. It's just an emotional memory. Those limiting beliefs are just emotional memories stored in the body, okay? Emotional memory. Say it again. Emotional memory. Exactly. Just emotional memory. That it gets stored in the body. That's why when you get triggered, your body feels certain type of way than when you're standing in the ocean looking at the sunset. Different. Huge different, right? So example, if you grow up and feel proud of yourself, but then you got shut down, or joy was like followed by criticism, it's like, why are you so happy all the time? Oh yeah, that was me when I was in middle school. I loved school until I reached middle school. I was like, wait, no, it's supposed to be like musical, theater, drama with like my friends were doing arts and crafts. And now I'm in this middle school where the girls are all hating on me because I was just happy. And that happened too in high school. And I thought like, oh my gosh, I left middle school. Yeah, I can be my authentic self. Walked out of that school, walked in high school. And I'm like, hi, everybody. Hi. And then one girl who's the cool girl in my year, she pulled me aside and she's like, I just want you to know, like, all the seniors and juniors, like, doesn't really like the way that you're acting. Like, you're too friendly. And I'm like, what? I just said hi to, like, people. It's such a traumatic world, high school and middle school for me. Like, I'm never the popular girl. They all know that I'm talented. Obviously, I sing, I modeled, I do a bunch of stuff, like, for them. Like, I did murals, everything artsy, but I never had, like, a gang to be with. Like, I'd always have friends in each. Look at the bird. The bird's, like, yapping outside. But, yeah, I always have friends, like, outside of school, obviously, or like each group with like their gangs or like their groups. I have like one friend at a time that would like be like, hi Caroline, hi Olin, how are you? And I'm like, hi girl. And they're like, oh, Samantha's there, bye. I'm like, bye. Oh well. Or it's just like, peace never lasts long for you. Something were to come up again, which, oh my gosh, that's life. Like, you suddenly feel so good in your life. Like, you suddenly feel so like, this is the perfect timing for me to like, this is it, like comfortability. But God said too, there is a table of comfortability that you don't want to be on. Like, oh, what if like I finally found the best job, the best house, like I don't have to, like I just live so comfortably. God doesn't want that. And the founder of Tom's, T-O-M-S shoes that give out 100 million shoes to thousands of kids in this world, and he sold that company, made it $600 million in profit after selling that company. And then he's like depressed for 7 years. It got really worse, like really bad. It's just because like he literally doesn't have a purpose anymore to create something that helped better people. And that's what I was like thinking too last night. And I was like hanging out with my mom, like, let's go out here. She listened to her like old song, and I just like played her old song, and she's like, oh my gosh, like I remembered this song. I miss one of those days. Like, and I'm like, Mom, you know what? I realized that like we always gonna miss our childhood or our old life the way it used to be. Well, Mom, it made me realize that just to feel so present right now with what you're going through, and it is very important to be grateful when you are building something, because that's where the chase is. Like where your life force is pushed to the limit, so then you can be the best version of yourself. And when you're up there, make sure you still have goals, because or else you'll become depressed. So that's what I thought about, like being successful, then at least I accomplished something that could help people right now, and I'm going to be 100% with my goals and do it until I reached it, and then I'll find other goals in life, so then I won't feel like I am not a great part of society, or like give some part of me that is from God, talents and all that stuff, to the society, or like to the creation of what God had made, right? So when everything that happened, when joy followed by criticism, like peace never lasted long, or like growing up you feel proud of yourself and get shut down, your nervous system says that it's dangerous. So now every time everything that starts going well or whatever, you like tense up and like shuts it down, or like you just feel not as proud of yourself when you should be proud of yourself. And that, my man, I would recommend you to read this book called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. It is talking about ceilings of success, of happiness, of feeling joy in your life that you definitely should be aware of, so then you can unblock and tap it into success. Even though you say that logically you know that you're fine, EFT tapping interrupts the loops of that feeling not good. I don't know how do you like put this into words, but like it interrupts that loop of like your feeling of like I don't know why I'm not allowing myself to feel good right now. You know what I mean? So why don't you let yourself feel good? Why does people go about their day and thinking like, oh man, like I'm not worthy enough, like don't know what to do, like I try to walk it off, I try to like journal it out, I try to quote unquote meditate it out, but it's just like I don't feel as good as I used to when I was younger. Look, we are conditioned to believe that self-confidence is arrogance, is like, oh, you know how to like speak English? Whatever. Oh, you know how to speak like French? Alright, whatever. Like, that's such an arrogant thing to say. Yes, I experienced that too, because I speak really good English even though I didn't grow up here in America. And it's only like the Indonesian people when I was in middle school and high school, such insecure kids that say that self-love is selfish. Wow, you don't want to go to my party that I made for you, but I made it all about me? So selfish, right? Or rest is lazy. Like, I don't know if you experienced this, but I feel like in a cultural household, such as myself, my mom never do that though, but like my grandma did it. You, Oma, seriously, don't do it again. She doesn't do it again. But like, I would rest, like I would lay down. I'd be like, it's Saturday. I went to school all week. I'm like, it's Saturday, it's Sunday. Or like, you want to like sleep in, whatever. There's always that mom or grandma or like whoever in your family that goes, hey, don't be lazy, get up, clean, do this, do that, laundry, wash your shoes, blah. Okay, but like I'm so tired and I've been going through so much and like I get burnt out, but like, all right, whatever. Like, and you remember that, you embody that, so whenever you rest, you're like, I can't rest, like I gotta go, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I feel so guilty by just resting, and I've been training myself to rest recently for this past 2 months, and I feel guilty. You thought that I would say feel okay about it, didn't you? No, I felt guilty because I was sick too for 2 months, and I was just like, I can't. Like, I'm starting a new series and I want to like talk about like manifestation in Jesus right now, but I can't because, but there we go. Wanting more is greedy, right? Oh, like I want, like, yeah, I created, $1 million company, but I want to get 10 million. And other people will be like, well, isn't that so greedy of you? Rich people is greedy. They want all the profits in the world, or something like that. Whatever people say about millionaires and billionaires. Or the struggle is a noble way of living. Like, it's okay. Like, God loves people that are struggling. He sits down with the people that are struggling in their life. Yeah, just to help them get back up their feet, to do better for themselves. But God doesn't disqualify them for not being what the society says about being a normal way of living or whatever. He hangs out with the outcast just to help them to get back up on their feet and be like, okay, you may go and never sin again, or you may go and da 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 da, and continue to perfect your life and serve me through the talents that I give you. That's what he wants. I don't know why. It's just like bizarre to me how those sayings of like, you know, generational or like societal turned into like your belief, but then again, you have free will, right? So this is why we're doing this. We're changing. So we either overwork to prove our worth, shrink when we succeed, or we sabotage good feelings or good things when they feel too easy. Yeah, you know, like, oh, a great opportunity comes to me and we're like, oh, this is like not good for me. This feels so easy. It's too good to be true, but like it wouldn't be on your path if God didn't allow it. Didn't. But also rely on him 100%, because whatever he gives you, he can take away. Life game. God, you're so funny. Okay. So in EFT, we remove those blockages, right? Let's talk about energy blocks or unseen blockages. What are unseen blockages? So in neuroscience, we call it unprocessed emotional memory. We said emotional memory, remember? That was the limiting beliefs that's inside your body. Psychology calls it stored trauma response, but at the core, it is negative emotion. It's just negative emotion that like been thought by your ancestors, grandpa, parents, brother and sisters, or people that you grew up with. So negative emotion is activated stress response. When your body doesn't feel safe, it contracts. It's like, oh, right? If thinking about feeling confident, fully being seen, receiving love, resting without guilt, expanding your life, letting things be easy, achieving your goals, being called selfish, oh my. It causes anxiety, shame, guilt, tension, self-doubt, fear, and it outwitting the devil. All of those feelings, by the way, anxiety, shame, guilt, tension, self-doubt, fear, are his work. That is stored programming, and it is the devil. I swear, it is the devil. I'd be like, shut the fuck. I'm not falling for your bullshit. I'm not falling for your bullshit. Cause like, what the hee-haw? Like, I'm not going to go out my way, start from my relationship with Christ, and literally reprogram my subconscious mind, and then having you whispering in my ear of like, hey, yeah, be afraid of what's going to happen economically in this world. Be so afraid of what this world is right now. Shut up, the devil. Put your hands behind your back. Marissa, if you're watching this, I love you, girl. Anyways, so that is a stored programming. Tapping itself neutralize it. So, all right, let's cut out to what are the 9 meridian points. Okay, so this is a sleight of hand. This is a setup only. So you only do it in the first beginning. And then you say, even though I believe that money is not possible to manage, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then you say, continue it again. Even though I believe that money is not possible to accumulate in a large amount, I deeply love and honor myself. Even though I believe that money is hard to attain, I deeply and completely love and respect myself. And then you go to the eyebrow. I believe that money is hard to get. Though, this is the side of eye, I want so hard to believe that it's easy to attain, and then go to the under eye. You can always do 2 hands too, but I always do 1 hand because it's easier, I guess. I seem to not believe that money is attainable for a person like me. And then under the nose, over here. I doubt myself so much in this process of attaining money, and I love myself still. This is the chin. I'm starting to realize that it doesn't help me a lot to believe in that. That is a collarbone. I do it like in the middle of here, or like right here is okay too, like in the collarbone section. That's like vibrating towards your chest and getting rid of the anxiety. And then you want to like lift your arm, and it's like right here by the bra like line. This is called the underarm. And I fear that this fear is disrupting my believability towards reaching my money goals. And then this is the top of the head. I completely remove it. I completely remove this belief in body, mind, and spirit. And at the end, you breathe in and breathe out. But obviously I just did that like one time, but in an EFT session it's 10 to 12 minutes or even 15 minutes. So it would go from top to head, continue down to your eyebrows again, and having prompts as you tap. And you continue on, and it definitely stops. It stops on the head. Like, you don't have to do the side of head again. It's done. That's like only the first prompt. And you're telling yourself, like in this EFT, you don't disregard it, right? You don't disregard limiting beliefs. You acknowledged it. Like, it's saying to your nervous system, I am safe even though I have this limiting beliefs, even though this belief exists. We have to acknowledge it, or else it will be a resistance, and we don't want to create resistance, right? So there is a 1 to 10 rating system. So sometimes Bradier's, or you can definitely do this too, like to yourself, like, oh, okay, I'm feeling this way. How intense it is it, you know? So rate it, how strong the beliefs feels. Like 1 is barely bothers me, or 10 is emotionally intense. And you do that, and you do the tapping for like 12 minutes, and then you're gonna rate it again after. And even moving from 8 to 6, it is a progress. Like, small shift literally rewire your identity. So this actually happened to me too. Like when I was like 3 years ago, I felt like I don't want to put myself out there. I have songs, but I don't want to put myself out there. I haven't created All In Manifestation. I had Life with All In podcast, and it was really hard for me to like promote myself and all that stuff. And then I was reading The book Big Leap, and I'm stuck in fear of outshining. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was fear of outshining this mean girl in middle school. And I tapped the living hee-haw out of that. It was through Brad Yates too, like fear of outshining. I did that for 2 times. I spent like 24 minutes, I think, or more on tapping, and I was clocked in, but my boss wasn't there. I was just like at the back room just doing that. And then literally I burst into tears. I was like, F you. I forgot her name. F you this, F you that. Like, you did this to me, and I tapped and I got released. That was like a release. Went home. I swear. I went home and I did the video that I did, and I got 9.1 million views on Instagram. Got 7 million something views on TikTok. Isn't that crazy? Like, it's so bizarre. Literally so bizarre how EFT tapping literally works. It just could be that instant. So I just want you to know that it's never gonna end. There's always layers, okay? Healing isn't just one and done, and the more you clear, it's like done, but like, no, it's not. But the more you acknowledge that thing that bothers you from in the inside, the more that you're aware of that, the more that you clear your limiting beliefs, the more you evolve, the more things start to come to you, things start to manifest in your life. And the more you evolve, the more capacity that you hold success to feel good. Your wealth expands to the speed of your nervous system. Feel safe. So then, heal your nervous system. Stop rushing to things. Calm down, pause, and reset. And I just give you a tool, and I give you where to go. And of course, I will see you guys in my next episode. I'm going to be talking about how I manifested my DV lottery, aka green card lottery, in DV 2020. So, I will see you guys in my next episode. Bye! Thank you so much for tuning in to the All In Manifestation Podcast. If you loved today's episode, I'd be thrilled to share a future self-guided meditation with you. To get it, just leave an honest review on Apple Podcasts. Share your biggest takeaways and let us know how we're doing. Before you hit submit, take a quick screenshot and then email it to olinquininquiries@gmail.com. That is olinquininquiries@gmail.com. Once I see it, I'll send over your free meditation as a thank you. Until next week, stay aligned, stay within your authentic self, and I'll see you then. Bye.